country that gave the world its penultimate celebration of sex, the Kama Sutra, and has a population of a whopping 1.2 billion, India's reaction to sex is as amusing as it is baffling. Battling with a collective that squirms at the very thought of lovemaking, condoms find themselves in a difficult but expected position in this market, at the rock bottom of any self-respecting Indian's priorities. For a market that saw its first condom in 1963, this 59-year-old market shows no signs of evolution. Instead, has registered a degrowth of 2.2% in sheer volume over the last year. Nikita Saxena asks the key question. For a category that is low involvement and closeted, how do condom marketers ensure brand salience?
Think about the last time you saw a customer labor over his choice of contraceptives at the chemist. Chances are you won't. Experimenting with ranges and innovation in the condom segment is a far cry for the average awkward Indian consumer. After all, his mind is preoccupied with larger concerns, such as the awkward conversation with the traditional retailer and the judgmental stares of fellow consumers. His only aim? Speed, ensuring he pockets the symbol of sin as quickly as possible. Imagery enough to tell you a little about why the condom segment is every marketer's nightmare come true.
बोलते कि पेपर बैग में रैप करके दे दो,
इमरजेंसी जो है दे दो, हमको निकलना है।
बहुत से कम लोग होते हैं जो ब्रांड मांगते हैं, बाकी हम जो देते हैं वो लोग ले लेते हैं, वो लेके चले जाते हैं। इतना कुछ खिंचाते नहीं या कुछ बोलते नहीं है कि ये ब्रांड चाहिए या वो चाहिए, जो दिया वो ले लेते हैं और चले जाते हैं।
Most of the chemists that I spoke to thought twice before they agreed to talk to me about condoms. After all, this really isn't a subject that makes for sitting room conversations in a country like India. Forget declaring brand loyalties. Most people would be ashamed to admit that they even use condoms. And that's the biggest problem that this sector faces today. And that's the key question players in the 752 crore worth market are looking to answer today. While market leader Manforce seems to have figured it out with market shares that jumped from 16% in 2010 when it first entered to 27% in 2013, erstwhile leader Kohinoor saw its share drop from 24% in 2010 to 20%, reaching second place, and Durex, to everyone's surprise, has only 2% of the market share. Given an average Indian's discomfort with the purchase of a condom, his haste leaves little time for brand loyalty. This is when the trustworthy chemist steps in. At the point of purchase, traditional retailers have a crucial role to play in putting the customer at ease, understanding his inclination towards a certain brand, and most importantly, aiding his introduction to a new one. If the retailer doesn't have a certain brand, chances are the customer will switch to another one without a second thought. And what that other brand is will depend on what's on display, what is well known, and what's advised to him by a trusted source at that point, the chemist. Reason enough for marketers to befriend him.
Surprising.
Take market leader Manforce, for example, whose jump to the top in a year is credited largely to it offering margins as high as 35% to its retailers, a good 15% higher than the industry norm.
मैनफोर्स अभी नया है मार्केट में, तो वही सब से हम लोग को थोड़ा मार्जिन ज्यादा देता है। केएस 20%, उसका एक्चुअली एड भी कम है, वेराइटीज कम है, तो वही सब से थोड़ा बिक्री भी कम रहता है।
We are treating Manforce condom as a part of our pharmaceutical selling. You know, like we whatever the margins we offer to retailers in our pharmaceutical products, the same margin we offer to the retailers in condoms. But whereas some companies which you have just mentioned, they do not give that much of margins. There was no, continuous promotion of these brands which were already existing in the market. And very seldom they used to promote these products for electronic media or print media. So we took advantage of that, and that gap was filled by us.
Kama Sutra, on the other hand, believes that it can get away with low margins as it has the advantage of being the legacy brand in the Indian market. While that may be true, the KS numbers do weave a different tale.
Our margins are little lesser than competition, but overall, since our rotation is faster than competition, I think it works adequately well for them. He either makes money through margins or rotation. I think if you take care of that, I think that's an enabler.
But what if this middleman was eliminated altogether? Think convenient vending machines in the West that make buying a condom as easy as picking up a can of soda. 7-Elevens that couldn't care less about whether your purchase was a toothbrush or a condom. And think modern retail. While this avenue contributes a meager 1.44% to the overall condom category as of 2012, the possibilities it offers are endless. Another emerging platform that is coming to these marketers' aid is e-commerce. Believe it or not, brands like Moods, Kama Sutra, Score, Manpost and Durex are now giving consumers the option of ordering their condoms online, putting to rest the marketers' biggest concerns of adequate display, increasing the time spent on the transaction, and reducing their dependence on the intermediary for product recommendation to the consumer.
Most of our shoppers, and I'm not talking about the hypermarkets, are usually buying a basket of, about 30-40 items on an average. So contraceptives will just become one of those products in the basket. And I think there is an anonymity which comes naturally when you buy a large number of products. And no special attention is given in the checkout process.
We are not in a position to create that type of ambience in the case of a traditional outlet. Condom vending machine, we had installed nearly 20,000 condom vending machines during the last 4 or 5 years. But we had faced some problem because, of the security measures, mechanical machines.
When we talk about modern trade, we talked about it has embarrassment reduced to a certain extent because you can just have to buy and go to the cash counter to pay, and you can access the range. But still, it's not very private. Still, there are people around. Now, e-commerce add one more element to your condom purchase, which is privacy. You can from your bedroom or from your office or from any place, you can go online to our website and buy condoms.
The biggest challenge for marketers right now is to increase an already restricted base for their market. At present, the urban market contributes to a whopping 76% of the commercial segment, while the contribution of the rural market is a mere 24%. While the rural market continues to be unviable for private brands, given the cost of distribution and low returns, urban and semi-urban markets too haven't shown the growth that was expected. And that's where these marketers will have to work to expand the category in a space that remains severely underpenetrated.